Your boy Daniel doesn't know we're back at it again with another hero story lore for Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic Reality Check. Let's go ahead and get into here. Dr. Reed Richards, the renowned scientist and adventurer also known as Mr. Fantastic, stood in his laboratory in Baxter Building, closely examining a small crystal that his best friend Ben Grimm had recovered on one of his many incursions into Lower Manhattan. Reed has his own theories about the strange energy stored within the glowing shard, but even the most brilliant man in the universe needed a second opinion every now and then. And Reed knew exactly to ask for one. Who he had to ask for one. The most brilliant woman in any universe, Shuri, the Princess of Wakanda. Not long after the time string entanglement erupted across the multiverse, causing realities to collide and collapse, Reed had received an unexpected and urgent message from Wakanda. But it was not from the technologically advanced African nation that Reed and his fellow members of the Fantastic Four had long called their allies. Instead, this message came from Wakanda located in another dimension, one where King T'Challa had taken his people to the edge of the universe and built a society that spanned the stars. Much like Reed's own reality, T'Challa's sister Shuri was the driving force behind the intergalactic empire of Wakanda's scientific research. So it came as no surprise that she too had been tirelessly searching for a way to undo the damage caused by the time string entanglement. Fortunately, she was not too proud to admit that she could not find a solution alone. After her initial communication was received, Reed and Shuri began to compare notes and hypothesis, I believe, thesis, bringing their other trusted allies like Tony Stark into their fold. Eventually, they were able to build a time string reinterrogation device that would theoretically be able to restore the damaged realities to their original state. Of course, finding an energy source potent enough to power the TRD would be nearly impossible, a topic which had since become the source of much debate between the device's creators. Reed knew deep inside that these crystals, which had come to be known as chronovirnium by those studying them, were the key. But when he compared the data he had acquired from scanning this shard with recent test results gathered by Shuri, things just weren't adding up. He had to get to the bottom of this. While there was still time left, "You wanted to talk, Dr. Richards?" a voice said from the other side of the computer screen. "Ah, Shuri," Reed replied, as the screen lit up to reveal the face of his interdimensional ally. "I'm glad you got my message." "As always, when the Fantastic Four calls," Shuri said, "Wakanda answers." "Good, because answers are exactly what I'm seeking," Reed said, getting right to the point. "We both have previously surmised that chronovirnium is a byproduct of the massive fluctuations in energy released by the time string entanglement, correct?" "Yes," Shuri responded. "In both of our realities, the second law of thermodynamics still holds true. Even chrono powers seek out the lowest energy state to stabilize itself. And these crystals have the lowest internal energy in either of our universes." "But that's where the similarities end," Reed said. "According to our data, at the very onset of the time string entanglement, I had reason to believe that all chronovirnium across the multiverse shared the basic structure. But now that our realities have continued to shift in unexpected ways, the properties of the chronovirnium found within them are shifting as well. The crystals I have recently analyzed here in Wakanda are proof of that." Shuri replied, "It seems the energy from the vibranium star at the heart of our empire has straightened our form of chronovirnium far beyond what was seen in earlier samples." "The same goes for the chronovirnium in my dimension," Reed added. "The dark magic that is holding New York City in a state of eternal night has fermented the chronovirnium crystals found here. Tony has started calling it blood chronovirnium. It is a bit dramatic, but I suppose it gets the point across." "Indeed," Shuri said. "And it makes me wonder how many other forms may be out there in whatever universe still remain." "And that is the one reason why I called you," Reed said. "If we could begin to catalog how many other universes, chronoverses," Shuri interjected, "that this is what we are here in Wakanda are calling their fractal realities created by the time stream entanglement." I have identified at least one other alternate reality beyond our own. Shuri responded without hesitation. Recently, Captain America arrived here in a Wakanda seeking refuge. Reed paused for a moment as Shuri spoke. The Captain America he had known had fallen in battle not long ago, and the entire world was still reeling from the loss. Logically, Reed was well aware that every reality likely had its own variant of Steve Rogers. But knowing that one was currently residing in Wakanda offered a sense of hope that Reed hadn't felt in far too long. Unlike the Captain America that both my father and my brother proudly fought alongside over the years, Shuri said, this Stephen Rogers claimed that he had been frozen during World War II and had not been reawakened until the year 2099. That's not the first time I've heard that date mentioned, Reed noted. Our Spider-Man told me that he was visited by one of his alternate reality counterparts. A young woman calls herself Spider-Zero. She claimed to be from the year 2099 as well, and asked for his help to repair a dimensional nexus point known as the Web of Life and Destiny. Fascinating, Shuri said, taking notes as she talked. Based on Captain America's intel, he also believes that this future timeline may be a gathering point for mutants whose home realities have ceased to exist. His ally Wolverine claimed he resides on a time-placed island nation called Krakoa. Curious, Reed muttered as he pondered Shuri's words. Our Krakoa vanished without a trace when the time stream entanglement hit us. Could the living island in that chronoverse be the one and the same? I will see if the captain or his allies can conserve Wolverine into sharing any further information, Shuri said. Allies, Reed asked. Steve brought along friends? Not quite, Shuri said. My own chronoverse has been facing a number of its own challenges of late, including a growing darkness that is spreading rapidly across the star system. I had initially sent the Guardians of the Galaxy to investigate its origin point on a distant planet called Klantar, but I have lost contact with them. In order to prepare for whatever may be coming our way, T'Challa and I asked Stephen gather some trusted allies from across time and space, including a few from your own timeline. Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier. Interesting, Reed said. Tony had told me that they both went missing after an incident at a remote Hydra base. He'll be glad they made it out alive. I certainly was, Shuri responded. I believe they will prove to be valuable allies in the days ahead. I fear this darkness is already taking Wakanda. Even the gods themselves are not safe from its corruptive influence. Speaking of the gods, Reed said as Shuri's words trailed off, the Asgard in my timeline has become something entirely new. Their world tree, Yggdrasil, has grown and merged with the Golden Realm to create Asgard. And, according to reports, Loki is already trying to take advantage of the situation. No surprise there, Shuri said. But the Asgardians aren't the only pantheons in disarray, Reed continued. Stephen Strange recently returned from a trip through the astral plane, where he says he communicated with heroes from yet another dimension, one where powerful deities were locked in an endless war for omnipotent power and total control. So that gives us at least 4 chronoverses then, Shuri said, examining her notes. That we've identified thus far, yes, Reed replied, and as they continue to collapse and intertwine, I have a feeling that they will start to become ever more dependent upon each other for survival. With so few timelines left, Shuri said, we cannot risk losing any of them. That is exactly why my brother chose to pay a visit your world. I hope this deliberately proved useful in your efforts. T'Challa came here, Reed said. Clearly puzzled. When? He left Wakanda a week ago. Shuri said her usual calm and collected expressions suddenly giving way to one of deep concern. Sorry, some of these words are kind of not right. Like pay a visit your world, but some of them are, and I'm just getting tongue twisted over here. I caballeted our cross-dimensional teleporters myself. I am certain he arrived safely in New York of your reality. Arrived safely, perhaps, Reed said. Dismayed? But anything could have happened after that. Our city isn't exactly as safe as it used to be. After all, the curse that had locked us in a permanent nocturnal state allowed certain factions that had formerly been relegated to the shadows the opportunities to seize power. Vampires? Shuri said. Fully aware of the problem, T'Challa had hoped to offer you a sample of our own heart-shaped herb as a means of developing a cure to this plague. But if he has fallen victim to it, then don't worry, Your Majesty, Reed responded. Like you said, we're in this together, and when Wakanda calls, the Fantastic Four answers too. I just pray to the Orisha that we are not too late, Shuri said sullenly, for all our sakes. Pretty sick. I love how, like, when you do the event and you get the volumes, like the gallery cards for the event that goes on in the books, it's a story that's kind of trying to tell you what's going on since the intro of the game. And everything's kind of binding together. It's cool. I like it. I don't know what you guys think. Leave me a comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe. I have future content coming for you guys, as well as updates on events, how to do things, and just some gameplay. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching.